Mrs. Parker, I've got something to tell you. Do you have time right now?
What's the matter, Beverly? If it's not important, don't talk to me because I'm tied up with a lot of paperwork.
Well, it's about the new project launch marketing plan that we've been preparing for the last 3 weeks. I noticed something while checking on it.
Okay, go on.
I think the data tracking section has some mistakes in it, so please take a look at the file again. I also sent you an external data report through email for you to double check.
Huh. Are you saying that I made mistakes in my data research? Are you calling me useless?
No, Mrs. Parker. I genuinely didn't mean that. I know that plan is very important, and your presentation is tomorrow, so I just wanted to make sure that there would be no mistakes.
Make no mistake. My plan is perfect and totally ready for my presentation tomorrow. There will be no change.
But, Mrs. Parker, you will see what I mean. If you look through the external data report and compare it with the data in the plan.
Are you having doubts about my ability to do the job? Hey, Beverly, don't be arrogant just because you graduated from a top-ranked university. You should remember that I'm your leader. I've never been wrong.
I'm sorry. I know you're skillful, and I would never doubt that, Mrs. Parker.
You should be better aware that you're nothing but an intern on my team. Don't cross the line.
Okay, I got it.
I see that you're having a lot of free time as an intern. Should I assign you more tasks? I've got plenty of tasks to keep you busy instantly.
Ugh, I don't think so. I have 3 tasks with deadlines coming soon, so I have a lot of irons in the fire at work right now. Actually, I think you've given me more responsibility than the intern's scope of work.
Huh? Do you want to complain about how I assign tasks and duties?
Well, I mean, I was asked to do market research for next season's products. But then you assigned me to prepare the strategic marketing plan. Actually, I'm working on it right now. But it is your job, isn't it?
Your audacity is really staggering, intern. I can't believe you take that kind of stance against your own superior. Are you forgetting that I'm your manager? You work for me, so just do as I say, or you can get out. I don't need a person without a can-do attitude like you.
Hang on, Mrs. Parker. I didn't think I could complete the plan. I just wondered if that plan was out of my scope. Do you think that it is appropriate for an intern to do such an important task?
No, because that marketing strategy is your idea. So you should be the person who makes it. Also, I'm going to revise it after that. Well, even though it's not difficult compared to your abilities, you should pay more attention to it than doubt my management capabilities. By the way, I want that plan to be ready by 3 p.m. tomorrow. Remember to prepare the PowerPoint presentation for it.
Wait, I remember that the deadline for that task is due in 3 days. Also, it doesn't include the PowerPoint presentation. You said you would make the presentation because it was your scope of work, Mrs. Parker.
Then now it will be added to your to-do list.
I'm so sorry. To be honest, I'm at maximum capacity at work. I can't handle one more to-do request. Can you assign someone else to the PowerPoint presentation?
Everyone else in this department is too busy to handle my tasks. And I don't want to intrude on their hectic schedules. You're the only one who has free time because you're merely an intern without any payment. It doesn't matter if you work overtime. That makes you the perfect option for this task. Besides, You should thank me for trusting you enough to let you do all of these important things. You will never find a better manager than me in any other company.
If you say so. I won't be able to do anything else but work overtime to get things done by the deadline.
Good. That's exactly the can-do attitude you should have while working for me. Remember, Beverly, your internship is due in 2 months. You better adjust yourself to the style and pace of my team, or I'll give bad feedback about your overall performance during your internship.
I got it, Mrs. Parker. I'll work harder to get a good performance review.
That's great. I sure hope this is the last time I have talked to you about your attitude. Now, get back to work. Make sure those documents are on my desk waiting for me at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.
Hey, newbie, are you okay? You look really miserable.
Ugh, Vivian, I'm sorry, but I can't go out with you after work. I've got too much to do, and I'm completely stressed out.
That's a pity. What happened? I thought you'd almost cleared up all of your to-do list.
Well, Mrs. Parker assigned me to do another task that she should be doing herself. Now, I have to both prepare the strategic marketing plan and make the presentation. Yay.
Again? Oh my god, honey. I'm so sorry to hear that. We all know that Mrs. Parker isn't the type of person to make anyone's life under her very pleasant. But she seems to treat the interns even worse.
Do you really think so? How do you know that?
Actually, I used to be an intern at her last company. My supervisor was someone else, which was extremely lucky for me. But I heard about what happened to the intern working for her at that time. Wow, I got goosebumps just thinking about that.
What happened? Was that person assigned all of her tasks like me?
Yes, but even worse. I remember her name was Lucy and she was very nice to me. We often had lunch together. One day, she told me that her boss, Mrs. Parker, assigned her a big task, which was supposed to be her boss's responsibility. She tried denying it because she was too busy then, but Mrs. Parker didn't change her mind. You know what? After that day, Lucy was asked to redo that project plan again and again and again. It wasn't until the 10th draft that her boss was finally satisfied with the plan she made. Honestly, that really made me scared of her. How bossy that woman is.
Oh, God. That is exactly what is happening to me right now. I mean, just this morning, I tried to suggest she give that task to someone else. But of course, she rejected my suggestion.
Really? Were you against her?
Yep. Do you think she'll force me to redo the plan again and again, as she did to Lucy?
I can tell, but that's possible. You should brace yourself, Beverly. What would you do if that happened?
I have no idea. I just know one thing for sure. I won't let her continually abuse her position.
Yes, go for it. I'll always be by your side, Beverly. You are a talented person. You should get more recognition from this company and your team. I know this won't be easy, but I also know you've got what it takes to get through it.
It's truly nice of you to say so. Thank you, Vivian.
You're welcome.
Well, can you tell me what happened to Lucy after that?
Let me see. I remember that she canceled her internship right away. But, Beverly, I hope you will stand up for your rights and not give up too early, okay? You're smart. I believe you can handle every incident, no matter how serious it is.
Okay. I never give up without trying. I'll be burning the candle at both ends today to get this report completed.
You can do it!
Hey, intern. The plan you've just sent me is terrible. Do it again.
Again? I'm sorry, Mrs. Parker. Can you tell me why I have to redo that plan?
Hey, you're just a tiny intern. You have no right to tell your manager what to do.
But this is the 9th time I've edited it, you know? And you've never shared your specific thoughts. You expect me to improve without that? I hope you can guide me through the unqualified portions of the plan.
I have enough work to do now. Are you an unpaid intern asking me to spend my precious time giving you a step-by-step guide for this easy plan?
Well, I think we both would save time if you tell me which portions of that plan don't meet your expectations.
I can't believe you. You're really useless, Beverly. If you cannot complete it, why don't you just quit this job and stop bothering others, huh?
What? That's not true. I actually completed the plan. But you didn't accept it or tell me what was wrong with it either. As you said, I'm only a tiny intern in this company. You are my supervisor, so it's your duty to help me out when I have problems, right?
You have to try to figure out the solutions before asking for help.
I've already tried 8 times, Mrs. Parker. What am I supposed to do now? Should I go ask our CEO for help?
Huh? No. Don't you bother him with your little problem. Alright, fine. On second thought, I'll keep the latest plan and revise it later. At least this one isn't as awful as the others were.
Thank you, Mrs. Parker. I thought I would really have to meet the CEO.
No, you don't. I'll present the plan to the CEO next Monday. Send me the PowerPoint by email before you leave the office.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and just a heads up. Because I'll be the one presenting it in the next meeting, I'm going to have to take credit for it.
What? But I'm the person who came up with the idea. I'm the one who completed the plan and created the PowerPoint presentation. I think that's kind of inappropriate, Mrs. Parker.
Well, then, sucks to be an intern. Let me tell you something. This is a basic principle of a corporate place. If you don't complete everything related to a project, you'll get no credit. Accustom yourself to it, Miss Intern.
That's totally unfair. I'll revise it and redo it then.
No, you won't. You're done with this task. I'll assign you to some new ones now.
Mrs. Parker, please, can you let me do it again?
Don't make me repeat myself, Beverly. Did you already forget what I told you before? You do as I say or else you get out. Those are your only 2 options, intern.
Okay, fine. You're right then. I can't do anything else, I guess. Well, all I can do is obey you or quit this job. Pretty basic idea.
Finally, you get it. Took you long enough. You're becoming more obedient, huh? I appreciate your understanding.
Hey, Beverly, are you free to talk now?
What's up? Vivian?
Oh my god, you cannot believe what just happened in the meeting this morning.
What happened?
Before that, I need to know who was the person preparing Mrs. Parker's plan. Was that you?
Yep, that was me. I told you before, right? I created both the plan and the PowerPoint. And she took all the credit instead.
Did you just let her get away with that?
Well, not really. But why are you asking about that?
Beverly, just tell me what you did when you found out she was taking all the credit for your work. Please, I'm dying to know that.
All right. Do you remember the story you told me about your old colleague, Lucy?
Yes, of course. What? What's wrong?
Mrs. Parker did ask me to redo the plan again and again. And I made her stop after 9 times by mentioning our CEO in the conversation. She got stressed out right away, and then said yes to my 9th plan.
That's dope, girl. I knew that you were going to get through it, but did you really make mind plans?
Why? Should I not have done that? After you told me the story about Lucy, I guessed Mrs. Parker would treat me the same. Just not sure yet. The second time, when she asked me to do it again, I noticed that she had just looked it through and ordered me around right away. So I decided that I would only change the template and rearrange the portions to make it look like a different plan. It turned out that she fell for it.
Oh my god, you're a little devil! You know what? At the meeting this morning, the big boss seemed not too happy with the new strategic marketing plan. So, Mrs. Parker quickly handed in a backup, which I guess was one of your redone plans.
Yeah, it must have been. What happened next?
He's our CEO, you know. He's running the whole company, so of course, he's a wise man. He quickly realized those two plans were the same. He was fuming so much that everyone didn't know what to say for a while. Mrs. Parker was called to his office right away. I bet she's being criticized severely because she took the credit for both of the plan.
Oh, well, what can I say? Karma bites back.
Yeah, and guess what else? When I eavesdropped, I overheard that they could choose the person who came up with the idea to be on the core team of this project. That's you, honey.
Really? That would be great. But I'm just an intern, so I don't think I'm qualified enough to take on such a big responsibility.
Don't worry, you won't do it all alone. There will be someone to help you. The bottom line is that big opportunities are coming to you.
You're right. I should be more confident in myself.
Yes! You work really hard on this plan, and everyone knows that you deserve the chance.
Thank you, Vivian. I thought today would be a bad day because, my boss treated me like garbage and took all the credit for my work. Vivian, you made my day. Even if I don't have a chance to accomplish this marketing strategy, I'm happy that I've got the recognition.
Be positive, Beverly. I know you're going to get more recognition no matter where you are. All you need to do is prepare yourself for future opportunities.
That's so kind of you. I'll try harder and harder, Vivian. Your support means the world to me.
Beverly? How dare you do that to me, you brat?
Mrs. Parker, you cannot blame me for your carelessness.
What? My carelessness? Oh, I cannot believe you. That's not my carelessness because you tricked me into your disgusting plan?
Mrs. Parker, you're always complaining and blaming your inferiors. Why don't you take a moment and look at yourself? And you'll realize what led you to today.
What do you mean?
Mrs. Parker, you were abusing your power by ordering me around as your servant. You forced me to do all of your work for nothing. No money, no thank you, no recognition.
That's because you're not worth the effort it would take for me to say thank you. Also, I've been doing exactly what a superior needs to be doing. I gave you a job. Without me, you're nothing but a janitor who could be cleaning the rooms and making the coffee. Instead of showing your gratitude, you stabbed me in the back.
You're being ridiculous. You're so mean and bossy to me all the time. And you also took credit for my work. You don't deserve to be called a superior or a manager.
Oh, is that why you stole my job from right under my nose?
I didn't steal anything from you.
You can stop your little act. I know they let you join the new marketing strategic project you helped me plan. I cannot believe that they would let an intern work directly with the senior management.
Why were you so surprised? I deserve that opportunity because I did my best in it. You don't know how many overtime hours I worked, and I didn't even ask for a dime. They appreciated my capabilities. Not like you. Hang on. Don't you know that I'm also going to be hired as an entitled employee of this company?
What? How could they hire you but demote me? That's impossible. If you sign the contract, I'll be in the same rank as you. There's no way. Beverly, I want to remind you that you and I are never at the same rank, so you have to obey whatever I order you to do.
Well, I hate to tell you, but I've already signed the contract, so you're not my boss anymore, Mrs. Parker. I was officially switched to Mr. Thompson's team.
What? How dare that jerk take away my team member? Oh, everything was so screwed up. It's your fault, Beverly. Hadn't you lied to me about the plans, I would be promoted by the end of this quarter. You ruined everything.
What are you talking about? You screwed it up in the first place. You took advantage of your team members so much that the senior management had to doubt whether you were even skilled.
Doubt me? Oh, please. I'm better at my job than anyone else in here.
If you're skilled, then you can achieve everything you want.
Watch me. But until then, you have to stay right here and wait while I'm pulling myself together and taking back my position in this company.
Where on earth did you get that idea? I'm not going to let you take advantage of me. Never. You know what? If you just capitalize on your team's support to get your goals, I can tell your career will start going downhill very soon.
Are you saying that I'm out of luck and I'll only get failure from now on? You're jinxing me?
I'm just stating the obvious. Wouldn't it be super awkward if one day you had to work under my supervision? But to be frank, I really don't ever want to work with you again. But who knows?
Never. Even if that day comes, I'd rather quit the job than work for you.
Whatever. I'm tied up with a new marketing project. So I have very little time to say goodbye to you in person. Please forgive me. Goodbye, Mrs. Parker. After the Monday morning meeting, senior management initiated an anonymous survey to gauge employees' sentiments towards their supervisors. Mrs. Parker swiftly received a plethora of negative feedback regarding her collaboration with team members and perceived incompetence. Faced with the choice between demotion and termination with an associated early termination fee, she surprisingly opted for the former. Now, she finds herself working on an equal footing with individuals she previously treated more like servants than team members. Adapting to this new dynamic has proven challenging, especially given the widespread animosity from her team. It seems that karma has finally caught up with her. On a personal note, I find solace in my current work environment. I have developed a strong affinity for my new boss, Mr. Thompson, and my team members. Mr. Thompson has been a tremendous source of support and encouragement, consistently providing valuable insights whenever I encounter challenges in new projects. Despite being swamped with work and occasionally overwhelmed due to taking on more than I can handle, I am thoroughly enjoying my professional experience, particularly without the toxicity of a troublesome boss. Reflecting on my journey from my initial job, I believe there's a valuable lesson for graduates. Opportunities don't just happen. You must actively create them.